It's all about training your mind. Okay.
Right.
Because while speaking, if you keep on focusing on your language, or if you focus on the other person. For
Hmm.
example, what happens sometimes, I'm sure this might have happened with you as well.
Started reading loudly. Whenever I got free time, I went to my roof on my terrace and I started speaking loudly. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning, I'm absolutely well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also doing well. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
Yes, so finally we are connecting. I received your message few days ago,
yeah,
and yeah, it's good to see you, Priyanka. So, Priyanka, before we start the conversation, please introduce yourself.
yeah. Sure, ma'am. As you know, my name is Priyanka. I am from Gurugram, Haryana. I belong to Uttarakhand, but right now I residing in Gurugram. And I'm running a YouTube channel. Name is Speak with Priyanka Kataria. And if I talk about my educational qualifications, so I have done a master's in finance and marketing, and I'm preparing for assistant professor job. Recently, I cracked UGC NET exam also. So now there is interview left. And
Yes.
if I talk about my hobbies, so my hobbies are reading books and talking to people. Yeah, that's all about myself.
Oh, that's great. So,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, your channel is about English language. I mean, you upload videos related to spoken English, right?
Yes,
Is
yes.
it
I
true?
use conversational video on my channel.
Conversational. Okay. So, how did you come up with this idea of such videos and channel?
Yes, yes. So before going to answer this question, I want to know a little bit about yourself, ma'am, please.
Okay. Well, my subscribers know me already, but anyways, let me tell you more. So, as you know, my name is Surbhi Goyal. I did my Masters of Arts in English Literature and Bachelor's of Education from Punjab University, Chandigarh. I started off my career as an assistant professor of business communication skills. What I believe I played so many roles, not just as an assistant professor, but I also worked as an English teacher at school for a very reputed school, I can say, and I worked as a trainer for various institutes too, as a spoken English communication skills trainer. And now I work for myself. I don't work for any platform. I have my channel, Easy Learning with Surbhi, for which we are having a conversation. And besides, I also offer spoken English classes, one-on-one sessions also, and group batch as well. So I can say my day is usually occupied. Rest of the time I spend with my family and especially with my daughter. She's in a
Mhm.
growing state, so I make sure I do not miss out on her homework or anything that she's doing for her school or for herself. That was a big introduction, but yes, that is
Thank you so much.
it.
You
Yeah,
are a teacher
yeah.
and you have a lot experience from so many platforms. So yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
grateful.
I can say I have been working for past 12 or 13 years, but during this time I have taken a lot of breaks. One
Mm.
after my marriage. So in 2014 I got married. So after marriage I took 1 year break, and after my daughter's birth, so she was born in 2019. After that also I took various breaks. I worked for various e-learning platforms, including English Routine, Read My Course, and my last job was at English Shari. So now I
Great.
just work for myself. Yeah.
Yeah, so ma'am, I have one question. Like I recently,
Wait, sorry, I'm it's stopping you here. This conversation we are doing it for my channel as of now.
yeah,
So let me ask.
yeah, yeah, sure, you can ask me. But my question is related to tutoring because I got an offer from a platform where I can teach as a tutor. So I
Okay.
want to like I'm little uncomfortable. Like still I'm feeling like I'm not okay to teach with people. So I just want to know like how can I gain that much confidence if they are offering me that job? So maybe they have seen my abilities, they know about my ability, but I'm not comfortable, I'm not confident much. So but like how can I join with them, like what I should do in this
Why
case?
why do you think you're not confident in the first place?
I don't know why, but I feel I need a lot of improvement in my communication
See,
skills.
what I feel, Priyanka, that unless you step into water, you
Hmm.
cannot judge that how deep the water is, right?
Yeah.
So what I believe that you should go for it. If they are asking you to join their institute, that means, of course, like you said, you have capability. So what I feel, you should go for it, gain some experience. What
Hmm.
would happen? In the last, what would happen? Maybe they won't like you. Let's assume that they won't like you. They'll tell you very clearly if they
Yeah.
are not comfortable or if they are not okay with your teaching skills. I'm sure you're a great teacher, but in case, let's assume, right? So
Hmm.
what would happen? They'll tell you to leave the job. That's it, fine. Leave job then.
Yeah.
But gain some experience.
Much,
What I
yeah.
feel, it's always good to gain some experience. It's always good. You learn something.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will definitely join. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay, so Priyanka, now you tell me, now since you're not from English language background, I can say. So I want to know that were you good at English speaking in the very beginning, or you improved with time?
Yes, my study was in English medium, but my like I took a break in between. Like after completing my masters, I started preparing for assistant professor. So for 2 years, I was preparing for assistant professor job. So I cut all the connections, my friends, and I used to talk. No, like we used to talk with my mother only. So that is why my communication was not so good in between 2 years. Then I started again. I before 9 months ago I started learning this language and I joined Clappingo. So that
Hmm.
time I used to get recording. So I thought I should upload these conversation on my channel. So I made a channel and I started uploading those videos on my channel. And
Hmm.
from there I got to know people are also interested in my videos, and like whatever I'm learning, they are also learning from my video. So then I started getting comments like they also want to have conversation with me. So I had one or two conversation. Then I feel, yeah, having conversation with tutors is a different experience. Having conversation with a co-learner is a different kind of experience. So I started enjoying that process as well. So then I decided, I mentioned my email ID. So I received a lot of mails and I started having conversation with them. And when I started feeling comfortable, so then I stopped having conversation with Clappingo tutors, and I started having conversation with my co-learner only. And I'm doing
Oh,
that, and I'm enjoying this learning process. I'm really enjoying. It's my hobby now.
that's great. I believe that if you are enjoying something, so that's great. You're learning as well as you're enjoying. This is fun learning actually. So I
Yeah.
want to know that how did you start your English learning journey? I want to know that from zero to now. I want to know everything because I'm sure this would help our English learners.
So my English speaking journey was very simple. I started from speaking only. I started having conversation with clapping or tutor. So when it was my first session, I was not able to speak any single sentence correctly. I was very nervous because I first time I faced a camera and with the in
Yeah,
front of expert tutor. So I took that initiative and I started speaking. So my journey started with speaking. Then after 1 or 2 months, I felt no, only speaking is not
enough,
working for me.
enough. Hmm.
So whatever tutor gave me feedback about my English where I need to improve, I used to do everything each and every day. Even I never skipped any single day having conversation with tutors and watching content on YouTube. Like 1 or 2 hours, I used to watch a lot of conversational videos, podcast, and then after 4 5 months, I started reading and reading not just in my mouth. I started reading loudly. Whenever I got free time, I went to my roof on my terrace and I started speaking loudly. There was nobody, and I used to wake up around 5 a.m. and I started reading loudly. So it helps me a lot, like reading
Yeah,
and listening to. It helps me a
yeah.
lot. And because of clapping a conversation, I gained a lot of confidence. So my journey was simple and just till now I'm learning. Wherever I find, yeah, I am making mistakes, so I usually focus on that area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of books did you read?
I read self-help book, only self-help book,
Help.
like The Secret or Who Will Cry When You Die. Or one
Oh,
clapping or tutor sent me a book on my birthday. So he
oh,
sent me a book. He's the author of that book, Bachelor in Goa. So I read that book. So like everyone is helping me. I'm very passionate about this language, and resources are coming in like in my bucket or like in my life.
on your on your way. Huh. See, what I feel that with this, like you said, that resources were
Hmm.
coming. So what I feel when you start something, okay, for your goals, when you start taking actions for your goals to achieve
Hmm.
your goals, what I believe that you can either say universe or energies around you, they start sending you opportunities or ways. This is something
Right.
I really believe. So this is a strong message for everyone out there who
Hmm.
are listening to us, that please, when you set a goal, take
Hmm.
an action for that. Like, be it a small action. When you start taking some actions, then
Hmm.
definitely you can say either God or universe or any energy that will open more doors for you. But you just take an initiative. That's what we
Yes.
can say. And also from your journey, Priyanka, like you told me, ma'am, it was very simple
Yeah.
journey. I can say no, it wasn't simple. You put in so many efforts and then you woke up at 5 a.m. Ask me, I'm not an early riser. So I can understand that waking up at 5 a.m. is a big deal. For me, it's
Yes.
a big deal.
Yeah,
And
because
then
I'm
you
married
wear,
and I have to handle all the things alone. So that is why I have to, like, I don't want to cut my time because I was preparing for my exam. So I didn't want to cut that time, but I started getting less sleep for the English.
that's great. That's wonderful. I can say you did so much well. You
Yeah.
really put in some hard work to achieve that English speaking skills.
Right,
Hmm.
yeah. And I
Great.
cracked that exam also, so I can say like ek tir se do sikar like this. I learned this language
Which
somehow.
exam? Which
UGC
exam?
net exam. UGC net exam
Oh,
in
great,
management
great.
subject.
Okay, okay. So what are you doing currently? Are you working somewhere?
No, I'm not working. I'm just looking for a job as assistant professor. So I'm applying in colleges and universities. And yeah,
Oh,
definitely I will apply for PhD as well when forms are out. So I will apply.
hmm. Which university are you planning to go for
I'm planning for
PhD?
Delhi University because I belong to Gurugram, so it's very near from my place.
Ah,
I can manage
that's
easily.
great.
Yeah,
That's great. I'm sure your life is going to be more busy. Your life is going to be busier when you get
yeah,
into PhD or your
right.
job. So
Mm.
yes.
My question is how to gain confidence while having conversation and how to work on body language while having conversation with somebody.
Conversation in English, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. You see, if you are good at English, if
Hmm.
you're good at speaking in English, then of course you will be confident while speaking. One thing, right? You will be confident. But in case you still hesitate, right? So I would say that practice beforehand. Like, don't try to jump into the main conversations. Rather, first take baby steps. Try
Hmm.
having conversation with your friends or with your family members or with strangers, because that ways you get comfortable with this language. See, your
Hmm.
tongue gets familiar to this language. When you
Right.
start talking more, and then you get into a situation where your opinions matter, or you think that's a common situation where people are actually listening to you very carefully, so at
Hmm.
that time you'll be more confident. That's
Right.
what I believe. Or it is also about your psychology. It's all about training your mind. Okay?
Right.
Because while speaking, if you keep on focusing on your language, or
Hmm.
if you focus on the other person. For
Hmm.
example, what happens sometimes, I'm sure this might have happened with you as well.
Hmm.
While having conversation, wait just a minute. So what happened is, like, while having a conversation with other people, we start thinking about the other person's, status or background, or we
Right.
may think, no, that person is more educated, or that person is very rich, or that person is very wise or learned. See, these kind of thoughts
Mm,
overpower our brain, overpower our thoughts. Okay,
right.
as a result, we start demeaning ourselves. Because we have started to compare at that moment while we're
Right.
thinking about the other person, right?
Mm,
This is, I can say, this is the worst thing we do to ourselves by focusing on the other person, but not just focusing on ourselves. So while
right.
having a conversation, please focus on the main, I can say, main message.
Mm,
The message that you have behind conversation. And if you make mistakes somewhere, let it go. Don't try
right.
to rectify it. Don't keep on thinking, oh, I just made a mistake right now. Oh, I made a grammatical error. Because that way, again, you will get distracted. So it's okay
Right.
to make mistake. Talking about body language, when you're confident and when you are mindful, you're
Mm,
always mindful, conscious of your words and language, then you will start focusing on your body language as well. So while talking to you, let's say I'm talking to you, okay? So you see, while talking, I'm using my hands. So this is
mm,
something natural to me. I think my profession has taught me this thing. I use my hands, I use my facial expression. This is body language. So what
right.
can say, practice it at home or with someone else. Stand in front of mirror, try to speak, assume there are people around you listening, and try to use that body language and also have some knowledge about it first. So it is very important to complement your words with your body language. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I hope I have answered your all the
Yes.
doubts, right? Okay, okay. So I can say that, Priyanka, it was lovely talking to you. You shared your English speaking journey, and I'm sure people are going to learn from you.
Anyone can learn. Anyone can learn easily without
Yeah.
spending any money. Because it's a social
Yes.
media era, so we can easily learn this language.
Yeah. And it is always good to take some guidance. Like you joined Clapping Go as a
Yeah.
student, right?
Right.
But I can say if you think you can invest some money into some learning, don't hesitate. Please go for that. It's always good to upgrade yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really nice having conversation with you. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure, Priyanka. I wish you all the very best. May you grow, may you get tons of success. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.